marketing. Could be 60-40, could be 70-30, but the most common is about 80-20. I think a few exceptions are, we like to kind of put businesses into two main categories, and there's always overlap, but demand capture and demand generation. So a demand capture product would be like, it's something you only buy when you got a need and then you're searching for it, right? Where demand capture is like, no, I'm not looking for it, didn't even know it existed, but now that I see it, it's awesome. So a couple examples. I think auto parts are a pretty good example of demand capture, like brakes or mufflers. Like nobody's gonna see an ad and be like, you know what? I do want to upgrade my brake pads. That's a good idea. It's like, no, there's a need of squeaking. I have trouble stopping, so I'm going to go search for it and buy it. Well, probably go to the mechanic. But anyway, if I buy it, if I'm going to do it yourself or I'm going to search for it online, I'm going to buy it. Or there could be other products like Boom by Cindy Joseph was in this category. It's kind of a cosmetic or makeup brand for women over the age of 50. And so they're all about pro-age, like not anti-age, but embrace where you are. Look your best, but embrace where you are in your life. And so nobody's searching for pro-age cosmetics, right? So we needed to show someone the message of, here's why you're powerful at this stage of your life. And you don't need to look like you're 20, you need to look like you are now, but just look your best. So anyway, that's more of a demand generation. So depending on which of those two categories you fall into, that might shape your budget a little bit more. So like with demand generation, maybe I do have to invest a little bit more in remarketing because that YouTube ad or whatever, it's like a novel idea. It's like, oh, that's a new concept. Okay, I'm going to need to see it a few times. Whereas if it's something like brake pads, you're leaning into search and shopping or Amazon ads, and it's kind of like it's a good price. I'll just buy it. So it does kind of depend there. But those are some kind of rules of thumb.
And that sort of brings up another question, and thanks for that. That's cool. Around customer journey before they're ready to buy. How much emphasis do you put on the journey when you're setting up the campaigns? Obviously, that like somebody's got the need, they're going to purchase within maybe 7 days as an example, versus where do you push people to that just wanting, say, something that's pro-age, and they might be just wanting to test the waters, and then maybe 3 months down the track they want to purchase from you. How do those sorts of campaigns differ?
Yeah, so I was always thinking about, hey, what stage is someone in when they're shopping? If they're aware they have a problem, but they're not aware that any solution exists, then that's going to shape the message. If they're aware of this is kind of going back to Eugene Schwartz. I don't know if you ever read his book, Breakthrough Advertising, but if they're aware of a problem, they're aware of a solution too, but not aware of our solution, that's going to shape the way I say things. If they're aware of like my competitors, but not aware of me, that's going to shape things a little bit. If they've been to my website, they're aware of all of it, that's going to shape my message a little bit. But usually what we like to do is I like to build out that bottom of funnel first, meaning I want to get good, solid branded search campaigns. So if someone is searching for me by name, then I want to show up for that, both as a brand defense to keep competitors at bay, but also you just get a lot of data if you're running branded ads. If you don't run branded ads, like you don't get all the data you need from Google Analytics from a keyword perspective or from Search Console anymore. So I like to run those brand campaigns. I like to get search for like category searches and Google Shopping set up, because again, just like we talked about before, if someone sees our ad on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever, and then they don't buy right away, one of their next activities is going to be a search for it. Then I like to set up remarketing campaigns. So site visitors is kind of all site visitors is kind of the first step, but then people that view a product page, people that add to cart but don't purchase, like to kind of segment those. And then really focus on those people like the first 3 days after that action happens, right? If you're remarketing to someone 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month after they went to your site, you get some, but not as much. Like I really want to focus on those first 3 days for the most part.
Because they get colder, right?
That remarketing. Yeah, what's that?
That's because they get colder, like as long you leave it. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, they get colder. So really what we're doing, like I don't mind remarketing to someone if it's been like 30 days since they've been to the site, but I want to bid less, I want to pay less, whatever. Like it's not going to convert as highly. And so I want to structure that differently, maybe have those people in a different ad group or different campaign or whatever, because I want to spend less, I want to bid less because they're not going to convert as well. So then once I have that built out, and you're going to have slightly different messaging, right? If someone's been to the site and they haven't purchased, my remarketing YouTube ad is going to be different, right? Maybe I just lean into just testimonials, right? Where people are just
Mm.
like, hey, I was skeptical before I saw this mattress topper, but man, I'm 30 days in now and I'm getting the best sleep of my life. And, whatever, like just, we're leaning into testimonials. So those ads are going to be a little different from if I'm running top of funnel. So I build out the bottom of funnel first, and then I start looking at, okay, now let's run, some mid funnel, upper funnel campaigns for people that are maybe not aware of us at all, right? Because I know I'm going to close more once I have that solid bottom of funnel structure.
Yeah.
But also think about, get your email opt-in email campaigns, get those built before you really go crazy on top of funnel.
Yeah, cool. I want to bring up the evolution of an e-commerce business into a brand. Because that's very interesting to, I think, a lot of people that maybe have an e-commerce business and they're doing okay. They might be making $2,000 to $5,000 a month, and they want to go, all right, let's get this thing to 7 figures. Let's get to 100K a month, and then go from the 7 to the 8 figures, which is, I know that's where you play, but I'm sure that you would know a lot about the evolution of this from 5 to 6 figure brand. How does somebody go from or what is the evolution of a brand or an e-commerce business into a brand? And what does that sort of look like?